Hello there, and welcome to yet another episode of my Car Mechanic 2021 series. We are on vehicle 4 out of 5 of the Mercedes-Benz DLC. Today we're going to be working on the W126, or basically the 560 SEC. I'm kind of wanting to give it that little copper color like that, or it's almost a copperish color. So we may try to match that up when we get to that part. Uh, as you see, it's not in the best of shape, but that's fine. It's what we're here for. Let's get to it. First things first, we take care of the frame. And put that back. That should have cleaned up a good portion of this. And it did. Good. Right. So grab all of this. Basically, we're just going to strip it down to its spare parts. Just like we always do. Make her nice and pretty again. That's the name of the game. Hey, apparently the rear bumper is in fact missing. We fix that along with everything else. So it should be down to 1%. Okay. Oh boy, that engine's stripped down. That's going to simplify things. Or maybe it was a parts car. It's a shame. These are nice looking cars when they're in decent shape. Let's see what we could fix up. Not a damn... Oh wait, no. Wrong spot. My caffeine has yet to kick in. Okay, so that only gave us a handful of parts. We're going to sort. And I'm not even going to mark these because what we're going to do is something a little different. We're going to put on the parts we were able to fix. That was the trunk and the right fender. And the left door. Okay, and then we're going to just order the rest because it's easier for me that way. Kind of. Okay, hang on. I'm resetting the list here. Sorry, just double check and make sure I'm not forgetting anything here. Got everything in the back. Got those two windows, side mirror, fender, hood, windshield. That. I think that's gonna be... Let's just get what we've got in the list. I don't like the fact that the names are so long that they don't list them right. You have to wait for the scroll. That's what I was doing earlier. I was just like, yeah, no. Body workstation. 560 SEC. So got a rear window. Left tail light. Rear bumper. Right tail light. And left window. The game assumes that you're paying attention and, you know, have more than one functioning brain cell, basically. let's get... Come on. Focus for me, come on. Okay, so we did forget a few things, but not very many. Both headlights, right mirror, right window. The license plates we'll take care of here in a minute. We'll do those separate. Yeah, when in doubt, just buy what's already on the list and then work your way there. That's... or unless you're more caffeinated than I, you can do better. But anyway, we'll do way better than I can. So, yeah. So let's go here. Get the remainder of the body parts that we need. All right. I think we're good to go. Anyway. I've never ridden in one of these, but I always thought they were kind of a neat looking car. Okay, what else we got? That's it? Okay. Let's go get some custom plates. We're not, as far as I know, going to do a theme build, so we'll just go with my standard. Okay. All right, let's take care of the interior and then we'll take it over to paint. Throat's kind of dry. All right, let's get back at it. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I want to go there. Then we're going to mark everything. Switch to disassembly and get rid of the old stuff. Okay, so before we do that, let's go over to inventory and get rid of the old stuff. Because none of those are fixable. Right. Onward and upward. New front seats. Nice comfy back seat, although... yeah. Nope. Go... there. Alright, so body, frame, and interior are now at 100%. Let's get you over to the paint booth. We're going to give them that copper color paint job like what we saw in the preview. Because if you go back here, it's kind of almost a two-tone. A little too red. Bingo. There we go. We just needed to go one row down. check that. Okay, let's go ahead and... I know I already hit the go button on it, but I want to check to see if there's any sort of liveries. I don't think there is. Oh, wait. Oh, dear. Nope. 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 Okay. That's weird. Okay. Let's exit out. Compare that to that. It's close enough. Close enough for what we're doing. Alright. Back to Bay 1 with you. And wait, hang on one more time. I'll check, make sure I didn't like put the battery back there or something. Just got a V8. That's pretty. Okay, let's given the fact I could see daylight through the cylinder bores, I'm willing to suspect we don't have to worry about any fluid removal. You do look like you have your gearbox on, so we're gonna have to go down underneath the car and do a little bit of prep before we pull the engine. Right. The exhaust is missing, like, as in it's not even, like, there's no presence of it, so, and no gas tank either. Cool. Slightly simplifies things. Right, got the drive shaft. Starters nowhere to be found. Have to make sure we get that. It's all good to go. Might as well just go ahead and fix up what we took off. Right, we're gonna need a starter. So, electrical. Gonna be a V8, so we'll need the bigger one. Okay. So that's all ready to go when we go to put the engine back in. Although it looks like at least the crankshaft and the engine block might be salvageable. So there's that. Got that going for us. Move over to Bay 1. And let's see if we can't just get you out cleanly, right? Good, good, good. Yeah, everything's missing from the engine compartment, so yeah, no worries there. Alright. Well, I at least can say this, though. The engine teardown is going to be super short. But that just makes it easier for us to rebuild it. In fact, yeah, that's all we're gonna have to do. Yeah, it took me longer to describe that than it did to actually do it. World record. Kidding. Let's see. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do the sell part thing. Get all the stuff we can't fix out of the way. Awesome. Oh, that was hard. This honestly looks to be kind of a bog standard, maybe slightly older V8 that we're throwing in here. Okay, Like we got... Yeah, looks like we got everything. Alright, let's proceed. Flywheel. Fuel filter. And oil filters. A misclick there. And brand new power steering pump. Eight pistons. Connecting rods. Okay, so the rest of that's all standard issue. Plus we need to get it. There's a couple more things we need to get while we're here. That is a very short camshaft. But not the size, it's how you use it, I suppose. Need 3 of those. Get rid of that. And then rings. And rod cap. Sure, our list is empty. It is. So let's start throwing stuff in here. Okay, let's get the power steering pump and the alternator on first, and then we'll in this thing, and then we'll focus on everything else. Okay, go. Just get these bolted in one at a time, just like always. Work our way up the interior here. It seems like y'all are still loving the episodes so far. I mean, last few videos have been doing reasonably well. That's all you guys were doing, man. You guys are the real MVPs here. All I'm doing is just making the videos. Doing them when I have the, not necessarily the energy, but the time and the will to do so. We still have quite a few videos left to make, and plenty, the right things are going, plenty of time to do them. So... as long as you guys keep watching, I want to keep making them. I'm glad you guys are enjoying them. I mean, at least hopefully as much, if not more than, you know, as I am enjoying making them. This is a big experiment to me. I've never done a YouTube series, let alone one that's like, we're like, what, 43, at least 43 episodes in now? Something like that. Insane. Probably not for some of the bigger YouTubers, but for someone who's trying this stuff out for the first time, it's a big deal. Okay, so we've got the distributor. Clutch plates, probably, yep. Okay. Need 2 cylinder heads. Give us a nice 12% boost. But yeah, this is definitely a bone stock V8 with just some slight variations. And it's not a knock. I mean, they used a lot of off-the-shelf stuff for this, and you know, it's fine. I mean, off-the-shelf for like you play this enough, like you work with the non-DLC cars enough, you start seeing commonalities because of, the way the engines were designed in the game. And again, it's not a knock against anybody. It's not any sort of indication of a fault or, cheapening out or whatever. It's just simply something that I noticed while, doing all of this. Straighten the engine out. You start seeing patterns when you play games like this long enough. So that's it on that. Let's start marking stuff for the next generation. Or next round of part buying. Okay, so get that. FB, intake manifold. That's just camshaft. I thought that V8 was a B for some reason. Okay, so we got 2 generic camshafts, 2 generic exhaust manifolds. We did not get the rotor, so let's grab that. Right on. Let's do it. Back to the performance shop. Clutch pressure plate. 8 spark plugs. 2 exhaust manifolds. 2 generic camshafts. 1 big honkin' intake manifold. And ignition distributor rotor. Okay. Ooh, shiny. Those are going to have that stereotypical camshaft cap that we saw in previous. Here's where we're getting some of the customization stuff. You have some of the Mercedes-Benz specific camshaft bearings, at least the ones that I've only ever seen or remember seeing for Mercedes-Benz cars. Okay, let's get the spark plugs put in before I forget about those. Okay, that's it on that. So we'll get the clutch release bearing. Mass airflow sensor. That thing's huge. Okay, so we need, let's see. I can't see because of that light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 10. Couple of cam gears. And I'm guessing distributor cap and probably clip B. I'm willing to bet that they're clip Bs. Try to say that 20 times fast. Okay, that's not a performance part. Sure. Distributor cap. Yes. Okay. Let's get over here. Get our clutch release bearing. That'll finish off the clutch parts. Nice airflow sensor. 10 camshaft bearings. Couple of cam gears. Sorry, I was just thought I heard something. Right. Clip B. I bet you it's clip B. I was right. I keep just enough of the generic stuff in there, and then, yeah, then they throw in a sprinkling of, custom parts from the looks of it. It works. Okay. Just kind of slowly working our way up. Trying to not be blinded by the shininess of the engine. That's actually not a joke there, because the sun coming through, because there's skylights, and they let a little too much sun in. You don't want that. I thought I was putting in a cam gear for some reason. I got it. Got my wires crossed there. Let's get that. Okay. That's it. Yep. Mechanical fuel injection. Big honkin' timing chain. Looking to see if there's anything else we need at the moment. It doesn't look like it. So I'm assuming this mechanical fuel pump is, yeah. I figured it was a aftermarket part. Timing chain. Come on. Okay, just had a bunch of stuff light up there. Sure we can get anything else. Okay, cylinder head cover, air filter, other cylinder head cover. Like, oof, we got a lot of timing chain sprockets. Okie dokie. And doesn't look like we have anything that's going to be performance parts, so just going to go ahead and buy our stuff here. Okay. We need to get the sprockets up front before we forget about all those. Interesting, they don't use timing chain shoes like some of the newer cars. Nope, nope. Okay. Cam gear, ignition wires, brand new air filter. Okay. This other one's standard parts, I believe. Add another timing chain. Distributor cover, air filter cover. And this has turned out to be a fancy little V8 here. Nice. Have anything else? Alright. Doesn't look like it. Alright. Okie dokie. Okay, got it all nice and shiny up top. Timing cover. Boom. Okay, water pump. Basically, we're just putting all the accessories and other essentials and all the doodads up front, basically. Okay, good to go. Okay, water pump pulley, got you. And your belt. Well, not your belt, but the other belt. Okay. Double check, make sure we ain't got any other grayed out parts or anything that's missing. Looks like everything is there. Right. It's a pretty spiffing looking engine, I gotta say. It's almost a stock V8, but it's got different parts and sections. Just different enough to make it interesting. Alright, let's drop you back in, shall we? Let's shall. Alright. So. Now we get to basically repopulate the rest of this because it's all missing. I mean, everything. So coolant reservoir, radiator, power steering, fuse box, battery, ECU. We'll get to the transmission, aka the gearbox, here in a minute. Yeah. One thing at a time here. Get the electricals first. ABS pump, this module, battery. Okay. ECU. Get that too. Fuse box base A. And fuse box cover A. We'll get the fuses themselves here in a minute. Let's get the rest of the parts first. That's a big coolant reservoir. Sorry, I was just doing some mental calculations about something I was looking at. Making sure I wasn't forgetting something. Back up. Okie dokie. So all we have now is to get the fuse box taken care of, which we're going to have to do that a little haphazardly here. Good. We'll go back over to electrical, and then see 2 relay type A's, 4 relay type C's, 2 relay type B's, 3 medium fuse type A, 3 fuse type B, and a medium fuse type C. Awesome. Okay. So I think we're at the point where we can finally put fluids back in all of this. I'm gonna go back to disassembly mode. Okay, might as well go ahead and do the oil next. Has a really weird camera angle. Okay, just need to get the washer fluid and coolant, and we can move on. All right. Double check. Like everything's present that should be there. Major missing. We'll get the transmission and, or excuse me, the gearbox. Same thing. Different different terms for roughly the same thing. And pop that on. And now, since we're just sitting on, you know, the drive shaft being the only thing there, we're going to do the, well, we're pretty much to the point where we're going to do the exhaust and the fuel system. So let's do those. Got both front exhaust pipes, you got the middle exhaust. And the exhaust resonator. Rear muffler. Looks like just one rear muffler. Okie dang. Might as well get the fuel tank while we're there. And yep, let's go here. 2 front exhaust pipes, 1 middle exhaust pipe, 1 resonator, which is like one of the first cars I've seen that actually use the correct term, to be honest. Fuel tank is not a performance part, although fuel pump is. We're going to need that anyway. The fuel tank, on the other hand, took that off there too early. And I didn't want to go clean out. That's alright. Easy enough to get back in. Not so easy to fight the camera to get back to where you want to be. Right. Just like that, we got ourselves a fully redone exhaust system and fuel system. Right. We hadn't even touched the tires. Normally I do those much earlier, and I should have. But let's take care of those right now, since we're at that point. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter when you take care of them, just teach their own. I normally take care of them early, as you've seen, and for those who've seen my other videos, I tend to do them before we go to paint, so pretty early in the process, but as long as it gets done, as long as everything's 100% when you're done, it's fine. Do the stuff your own way. Find the rhythm that works for you if you want to do this kind of stuff over and over and over and over again. So you should have just 1 tire size. Yep, okay. Just making sure. Right. We should be able to salvage, or excuse me, save the rims. The tires are not. We always have to end up getting new ones. It's not like the trucks where you do the, you know, shave, basically grind off the old tread, glue a new one on, and even that, hell no. You only buy those if you're driving a truck. I understand you want to save a few bucks here and there, but hell no. That's like a safety hazard waiting to happen. In fact, I think it's even illegal to put those on like drive wheels, if I remember correctly. You ever seen what happens when the frickin' tires pop and the tread separates? Yeah. Bad stuff. Pretty sure there's plenty of YouTube videos out there that would gladly illustrate that point. We're gonna mark for 4 of those, but we're gonna get rid of 3 because we want to keep 1 for comparison purposes. So since we have the rims all fixed up, we're going to skip right straight to the tires using the standard tire, which I need to look at the numbers. 215/65. We need 4. Before I close that out, let's double check. 215/65/15. 215/65 R15. Yep. Looks good. Alrighty. This is the last one. Then we'll go to balance them. Okie dokie. You ever see them do this at a tire shop? It's actually a pretty interesting process. They do it a little different. I mean, here we're just spinning a little dial to line things up to balance them. But you ever see them do it at a real shop? That little display back there you just saw for a brief moment would tell them exactly where to put it and how much. Like this guy would light up and say they'd be rolling the wheel and then it would line up. And it takes some snips and take some sticky tape weights or clip-on ones depending upon the kind of rim you had, and then put the appropriate weight where it needs to be, respin it. It's like a multi-step process, but it's actually pretty slick to watch. Okay, so it looks like pretty standard rear assemblies. And let's get that drive shaft out. Grab that hub before I forget. And I'm going to pull that. Oh, she's got bushings. Let's get these bushings out before I forget. I always like to do that first when I have to deal with cross members. Back up, thank you. Oh, this one's got the full works on it. Sway bar and everything. On the rear, no less. Okay. I was like, what am I missing here? It's like, oh yeah. Come on. There you go. Right. Do this side next. I'm gonna try doing the same thing I did on the previous car, where I just took both suspensions apart and bought one big batch of parts. That seemed to work out pretty well last time. I mean, like I said, many different ways you can attack these, you know, because they're all puzzles basically. If you want to look at it that way, they're like don't even think of it as a car. Just think of this thing as a puzzle on four wheels. Especially if you're doing the story jobs, because customer comes in and says, hey, you know, because the story missions have you do this like bog standard. Customer comes in, claims there's noise coming from XYZ place. Now, it's a little more specific in this game because, you know, the customer's a little more accurate than they are in real life, because the average person's not a car expert. You don't expect them to be. And sometimes they'll tell you, hey, this sound it sounds like it's coming from, you know, one place and it's really coming from another, or from another source than what the customer was thinking. You know, because they're just reporting what they see, and there's, again, nothing wrong with that. It just means that, you know, if they're right, great, it saves you time. If they're wrong, you still got to play detective. But either way, you figure it out one way or the other. And that kind of thought process extends to more than just working on cars. Like, okay, I almost took that exhaust part out. That could have been awkward. But yeah, even with all my years as a software QA person, you gotta remember, like, part of that I was doing product triage for the group I was helping out with. And so I'd look at defects and stuff that were coming in from, you know, our test teams and from, customers out in the field and stuff like that. And that's a funky looking truck assembly. And it would be exactly what I described there. Oh, this thing crashed, it's broken, fix it. Or it would be, oh, I think this problem's coming from over here, and what they're really looking at is the end result of what broke, not what caused it to break. Which means the problem's further up the chain of, things being executed on the system. Things I've worked on storage equipment, as a profession. Testing it, at least. Doing light dev work, too, for them. By the way. But yeah, the best way I described doing the triage work was almost like one of those CSI people. It's like you're coming to an accident and you only see the carnage. You don't see what led up to the carnage, basically. And it's your job as the investigator to figure out what actually happened. You learn to be able to dig through problems like that and truly root cause them. You could take that kind of skill set just about anywhere, including fixing cars or restoring them. Because those kind of skills are valuable to have. Those critical thinking skills like that. Work the problem, basically. Alright. Yeah, I'm getting better. I'm learning to take the assemblies apart before I get too far along. Like that caffeine's finally starting to kick in a little bit. Come on. I think we're on like number 3. Kind of looks like my workbench, except, well, which workbench I once used anyway. But this has not enough rolls of duct tape. Okay, last one. Finally putting the tools in the shop to good use, We didn't have to charge the battery because the old battery was missing. Alrighty. Let's see what else we could fix up. Kind of going into focus mode here, so if I get real quiet, that's why. I almost fucked that one up. we're still going to have stuff to buy because there's going to be either stuff we can't fix or it's a consumable like the bushings and stuff like that. You're never going to get a perfect run where you don't have to replace anything. Not possible. Unless the car somehow came in with all 100% condition on the consumables, but I think you'd have a better chance of winning the lottery than finding a car in the wild in this game with the consumables completely intact. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Didn't want to cough into the mic and blow everyone's eardrums out. So, where'd that leave us? Oh, halfway. Not too bad, though. Alright, sell everything that's not 100%. Take a look at our shopping list here. Go back to regular parts shop. Yeah, kind of a sizable list here, but not too shabby though. Okay. 2 rear shock absorbers. 8 small rubber bushings. 4 wheel hub bearings. 2 rear end links. 2 shock caps for the rear. 2 front end links. Got your rear sway bar. 2 rear springs. Full set of brake pads. 2 wheel hubcaps. 2 front springs. Got you. 2 front shocks. Okay, there's our front sway bar. 2 inner tie rods. And 2 outer. And 2 front shock caps. Boom. Okay. Got the new assemblies put together. Rockin'. Okay. Let's get the back end done first. Make sure we get that small rubber bushing in there, otherwise we're not going to be able to get these lower suspension arms on there. And we need to get these bushings in before they get lost in the mix. Alright, let's get the brakes put on. Come on, get on there. Before I forget that too, we're going to need to get drive shaft put on. Cool. Looking good so far. Right. Come on. There you go. Sometimes these parts are a little shy. Get in there. Alright, before we go up front, let's verify everything looks good. Yeah. Sorry. Tried to stifle that sneeze as best I could. Okay, looks like everything's there. Alright. Looks like that's for one freshly rebuilt rear suspension. Let's get the front thrown together. Alright, move on. Game, come on. There you go. Oh, we almost forgot the front end link. Alright, let's get this side put together and we can verify and make sure everything's at 100%. And it's off to alignment. Get some dyno numbers and screenshots and all that good stuff. Alrighty. Okay, my inventory is empty. It looks like everything's there. And we're 100% on everything. We did it. Good job. It's a group effort. Alright. Let's get you to the alignment rack. We'll get your headlights and your wheels straightened out. And then it's off to the dyno room with you. Man, that one was staring off into space, wasn't it? Look at that. Well, for those of us with like slight vision issues, they need to like do some kind of like improvement there for visibility's sake. I mean, I could just about make out that inner half oval. I have to kind of sit there and you see me like jiggle it back and forth a little bit, like laterally. That's why. It's just sitting there going, I think it's right. And this is with glasses on. And a 43-inch monitor to boot. Alright. Let's get her over to next door to the dyno shop and we're going to see what numbers we come up with. Okay, so 389 out of the factory horsepower. 435 pound-feet of torque, so already some pretty decent numbers for a passenger car. We put some performance stuff in there, so I would expect a pretty healthy increase. We're not going to get like 1,000 horsepower out of it, but we're going to see some good numbers. Let's see where it goes. $649 horsepower, a gain of 261, so 68% increase. 717 pound-feet of torque, increase of 282, so 65% there. You know, this is where if I had a professional video editor, I'd say insert the Tim Allen more power grunting noises, because, yeah, that's not too shabby, especially for this kind of car. Gonna be hauling ass in style with this thing. Okay, let's get her outside. We're gonna get some screenshots. Okay, that one's gonna be the thumbnail for the video, which you'll no doubt see, but you know, whenever this gets uploaded. And that one's for sharing it in the Discords I hang out in. Gratuitous booty shot. Alright. Let's head over to Speed Track. Let's see what kind of numbers we get. Well, she's got a bit of a buzz to her, doesn't she? Rather Spartan interior, but I'm okay with that. Bit of an oof start there, but that's fine. Okay, we're at 110 and 20, 30, 40, 150, 159. Shoot. Yeah. Oh, could be worse. Could have been worse. Even though it's not high speed, I bet you could probably still tow a camper with this thing. I mean, if people were so inclined. Be towing something with it, probably not a camper. Ain't gonna go into that. You can fill your own details in there. Okay. So, as you can see, it is now mint condition. Let's look at the numbers. So, bought it for $32,600. You see the bonus and all the parts values and body values and everything, all the stuff, how that factors in. So we're selling this for 150,373 for a profit of 117,705. Not a bad return on investment, if I may say so myself. Dude, we're almost up to 3 mil. By the time we get done with this YouTube series, we're going to have some good money to be able to do maybe some special one-offs or something. Or maybe, if I could ever figure this stuff out, maybe drag race stuff. I don't know. No promises there. No promises. Just throwing stuff against the wall here. Okay. So, yeah, we got this purple monster. The W124 560SEC. That's going to be the next episode. And yeah, it's the Joker card because it's like not just 2 colors but 3. The two-tone, which I actually like two-tone on a lot of cars, it makes it look really nice. But it's got the 1 green door. It's like, what the hell? Joker get a hold of this and get bored? We got our filler car, which is the Echo's Cobra. I've yet to look this one up to see what the real world equivalent is, but hopefully I'll figure that out before I actually record this episode. So that's going to be in Bay 2, because that's going to be 2 episodes from now. Okay, it's in fairly decent shape, but yeah, this one's going to be fun. You guys usually like the filler cars anyway. I get a pretty good response rate from those, believe it or not. We get the first of the Esprit, or the Lotus cars, the Esprit. Yeah, the Esprit S1. The reason why I said in the previous episode where it's like, hey, that's that car from, that's because this car in one form or another has been in so many movies and TV shows that it's like, you could pretty much just, throw a dart at the wall and hit a list of movie and TV shows that have been made in the last 40 years, 30, 40 years. And this car's been in it. Well, more like the last 40, 50, but anyway, you get the idea. So you are going to position 2 because that's going to be 3 episodes out. And we're going to grab the other Esprit, or not Esprit, but the I keep wanting to go Esprit for some reason instead of Lotus. Got that name on the brain. So, Lotus Elise, which is the other car, because there's only 2 cars in this DLC. So, move to garage. And I think it looks like I need to wash this, so let's actually do that. We haven't washed a car in a few episodes. Still finding ones that I never got around to cleaning. Hey, that's actually got a nice color on it. Or at least it will be once we get to it. Once we clean it up. Bit of a lighting bug there. I don't know if you guys saw that. Yeah. Gonna be interesting. Hopefully some of that cleans up when we actually go to fix it. Let's put that in position 3 because that's going to be a ways out. So like 4 episodes out. So you got the entirety of the Lotus DLC right here between these 2 cars. This one's going to be a hoot, I think. I mean, it's going to be an interesting build. I could already tell. It almost kind of like, almost Miata-like in a way. Like those tiny cars like that. Anyway, so let's close up shop here. So you've seen what we're going to be doing here for the near future, for the next, several episodes. And, God, this car's ugly. I mean, the body's not, but the paint job's like, ugh, we got to fix that. Anyway, with that, I want to thank you all for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get alerts for YouTube videos and possibly future streams, depending upon how things go. Still working out the details on that. And guess I'll see you guys in the the next video. Take care.